35192 if you want to text for something. Finesse Mitchell is here. It's been a long time since he's been in here. If you are an adult, you remember him from Saturday Night Live. If you're a kid, you remember him from Ant Farm. That was what my older kids, when they were younger, would see you on Ant Farm. And then they would still see you if they were rerunning Ant Farm.
On Disney Plus.
Everything's coming up Finesse, by the way.
Everything Finesse is coming up. I just heard when I'm going to host Saturday Night Live.
When are you going to host Saturday Night Live?
When Tracy Morgan says I can host Saturday Night Live. Oh, Cleveland. I've been so busy, Alan.
I know you have.
Bro.
It's a good thing to be. I just saw you on Is a Cake.
Yes.
Completely coincidentally, I was out of commission. I had no voice for like 4 or 5 days. I barely have one now. But I'm sitting at home and I'm clicking around, and I have a 6-year-old, and I go, let's watch this show. Mikey Day's hosting Is a Cake.
It's his daughter, by the way. It's not just a 6-year-old that he found. Yeah.
Yep. I let her out twice a day, and she likes to watch television. And I was like, there's Finesse.
Bro.
Just popping up.
Just popping up.
Yeah.
And
you had to determine if it was real asparagus or not.
That's a very frustrating show. Because I don't want people to be that talented where I'm standing over the cake and I can't tell if that's cake or not.
Or asparagus.
Or asparagus. Or
what was it? It was like
sweet rolls.
A lobster tail or
steak.
something? Yeah, it was a very ornate plate of food.
Yeah, man. Like everything they brought in front of us, you know, when you're standing back off of it, you're thinking, oh, this color is a little bit different from all the other. So that's the phony. But then that's not the phony, you know. And then when you're standing over it, you still couldn't tell.
Who calls you to ask if you want to be a judge on Is It Cake?
You know what? It's weird.
Because like Fortune was on, and like so obviously they have like somebody funny, and then 2 people who kind of like know food or something.
Yeah, something like that. And I don't know. I think my manager at the time.
Okay.
He just hit me up and said, "Hey, you want to go on the show?"
When did these get shot?
Cake? We shot that over a year ago.
Oh,
bro.
you did? Oh, okay.
I forgot I'd done it.
Yeah.
It made me say, "Where's my check?"
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And they were like, "Yeah, we paid you." You did?
I didn't. I don't remember that.
Yeah.
Direct deposit?
And then my agent called me and they said, "Oh, you're trending. You're #1 on Netflix. You're in the #1 spot." I said, "Netflix hates me. What are you talking about?" And they're like, "Is it Cake?" And I was like, "Oh, I did do that. It's on Netflix." I didn't even know what a show came on.
Right.
I just said yes because Mikey Day was hosting.
Sure.
So, yeah, you know, I turned to Netflix and I saw it in the little #1 spot because it had just debuted that week. So everybody was talking about it. But those little small surprises keeps you in
front of people and seeing things. And
absolutely.
Yeah.
I stopped doing colleges because I felt like I didn't have anything in common with the college crowd. And now it's so strict about what you can say, you can say and what you can't say. And then I did one just to do it because the money was stupid. So I said, I'll go do it. So I'll go take this money. And out of all the stuff I said, oh, and by the way, guys, I'm and this was after my show. You know, this is me saying good night. I said, oh, by the way, watch me on reruns on Disney Plus. I'm China's dad on Ant Farm. The whole crowd
went bananas.
Crazy. Went eight nuts.
Yeah.
That's why I keep on.
Yeah.
And now I got 6 more colleges. Now I'm like, hey, I know what to say now.
Yeah.
But I'm in that situation, bro, where I'm transitioning, I think, to daytime TV. I've been hosting the Wendy Williams show in her absence with a good friend, Kim Whitley. Sherry Shepard is going to be taking over that spot, I believe.
This was just a couple of weeks ago you said it.
Yeah, and that'll be my 2nd time doing it. I think I'm going back a 3rd time because Sherry doesn't start until September. So they got to keep the guest host rotating until Wendy comes back, and then who knows.
And guest hosting is always the producers going, okay, who could do this?
Yes.
So when you're sitting there, it's not just, you might kind of go, let's not look into the future, but it is more than just sitting there and making the show.
I like wearing suits. I like wearing
give me a tie.
Just give me the suits.
Right.
Give me the budget. Let me go look fly. You know what I mean?
Those suits are wearing you on that show.
Oh my God.
Oof.
My suits need their own Instagram. I'm killing the game. People are flat out just like, I didn't even know. You know, they're like, I didn't know you could trust it. Because, I'm a rather handsome guy. So I try to dress down.
You You don't want to hurt him.
I don't want to.
Right.
I don't want to.
I can't give you the full finesse.
You know what I'm saying? You know, but now I got single mamas everywhere, from 55 to 65, just in my DMs. Like, you know,
the more things that come to you in your career or that you go for or whatever, does Saturday Night Live become less of a signpost, or will that always be an important thing for you? You weren't on a long time. Should have been on longer, arguably.
Absolutely.
But does that become less of a thing?
Less of a thing.
Yeah.
I think you get reminded of it.
Yeah.
Because in the comedy
because it's so
world,
high profile,
they're like, you know, what are his credits?
Right.
And so when you're thinking, oh, I just taped a special, and they go, shut up, Saturday Night Live. I go, oh, okay.
Yeah.
If you want to go,
you're
with
not
that.
going to bury it.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah.
But I've been eating off of it for so long. And Keenan, who I came in with, not only holds the Guinness World
and who
Book
is
of
still
Records,
there. Right. Yeah.
93 years.
1,500 sketches, which
Right.
is a record. But the longest running cast member by far, over like 6 years, over Daryl Hammond. You know what I
And
mean?
Nealon was there a long time too.
Yeah. But
Tim Meadows,
we talk about it, and he's just like, we were just talking about happiness, and Keenan was just saying, I'm happy. Because at first it was like 3 years, 4 years, we're going to bounce. Well, in the 3.5 years, they were like, Finesse, you can bounce.
See ya.
You know? But then Keenan was like, I didn't even know I was going to stay there. Because we were literally like, we're going to treat it like college, and then we're going to move on to something else. And then I literally treated it like college, because 3.5 years, I was sick of college too. But then to see him still saying, if I can do my primetime show on NBC and still go back to New York and do SNL, why not? If Lauren wants me to do it, I'll do it. So I'm like, bro, are you happy?
Have you been on Keenan? Have you done any spots?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I watched it, and I was like, I know you guys were both from Atlanta, right? But I was like, I like that show, but I couldn't remember because I watched it a while ago. I don't even know if there's a new season on yet.
Yeah, there's a new season on. I think
Okay.
they just wrapped a new season. But
Okay.
yeah, he had me on. Of course, I was harassing him. I was just like, yeah, no pressure, but I'm going to talk mess about you every radio show I go on if I don't get a chance to do a guest spot on your show.
Right.
You know, I just sold the show to Fox. So I'm going to
congrats.
possibly have my own show if they
Nice.
pick it. It's a pilot right now, a pilot order. But it's called I Gotta Ask My Wife.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because that's where we all are in this stage of the game. You know what I mean?
The SNL thing, was it I know you refer to it as like college, but would you have liked to have stayed there a little? I mean, nobody wants to have Lauren go, I'm letting you go. But would you have liked to have been there a little bit longer?
You don't seem happy. I don't think it makes sense to just keep it going if you're not happy.
Is that what he said, really? You don't seem happy here?
Well, people knew I wasn't happy.
Oh, you weren't happy.
See,
okay.
I didn't know show business. I didn't know you weren't
You're a young
supposed
man.
to say, I'm not happy.
Oh, I
That's
see.
stuff you keep to yourself.
Push it down.
If I remember correctly, and this is going back 15 years or so, they had let Chris Parnell go. This was he got let go with you, but that was the second time they let him go.
Right.
Because they were like, oh, I don't know, outcry or whatever, so they brought Parnell back. But then you had been on for a couple of seasons, but like a featured guy. Then they bump you to the cast, and then they let you go.
Our cast had ballooned to about 20. You can't have a
But
20.
it's always that big
but it-
now, isn't it? I mean,
I don't think they want it to be that big again.
okay. I mean, it
But-
is huge. That's huge. But
Yeah, 20 is huge
Yeah.
for a sketch comedy
Right.
show. But I think if I remember correctly, I do remember Rachel and Tina. You know, I do remember the 30 Rock transition. They were going to go do 30 Rock.
Okay.
But then
She was head writer when you were there, though? Yeah.
Tina Fey was. But I do remember, like, it was 6 of us not coming back. But the people that were coming in were so strong. Sandberg, Kristen Wiig, Sudeikis,
Oh, they
and
were
Bill
coming in.
Hader.
And, yeah.
You know, they had came in as features.
Yeah.
But then they had crushed that first year that the show felt comfortable. Like, yeah, we can let these other guys go.
Yeah.
So for me, it wasn't. I loved New York and I loved the nightlife and I loved partying and I mean, it was just such a dope time because everybody who was super megastars now was just bubbling in.
Right.
And that's why they were hosting the show. So it was great to meet all those people then, to be able to still call them today.
Yeah.
To be able to say, now remember when I put you in that cab and I said, you don't know
Get
me.
me on Ted Lasso.
You know what I mean? So it's great to still have all those relationships. But at the time, I do remember being not happy. And I thought I was a rapper back then. I thought you could say like, y'all need to get y'all act together. Well, I'm out. And it was like, bye.
Oh, I see.
You know what I mean? So I was that guy.
And also, you hadn't been doing stand-up for a long time by the time you got SNL, right?
Yeah, like 6 years.
6 years,
And
yeah.
that's not a long time.
Right.
To me, it takes 6 years to even know what your funny is.
Right.
And
Like
SNL
Spade talks about how he was like still a middle when he got Saturday Night Live. He's like,
It
I didn't
came
even
quick
know
for
what I
me.
was doing, you know.
I was so Kim Whitley. She's the person that I co-host Wendy Williams with, and she was like, Finesse, you came through L.A. and people automatically didn't like you. You were handsome, you was funny, you was booking stuff, and then you booked Saturday Night Live and you left L.A. So it was easy for people to be like,
Oh, I see.
where did that guy come from?
Yeah.
And that, he didn't deserve that, and da-da-da-da. You know what I mean? So now I just look back on it like, God, I still look like that guy because I'm aging so well. You know?
Use a lot of cream serum.
You know, like cocoa butter. But I look back on those days and now being like an OG. People call you OG now when you like
Yeah.
20 years in the game.
Yeah.
And they're just like, oh, man.
Because you didn't fade away. A lot of people fade away.
That's the whole thing,
Yeah.
Alan, with this career. If you keep it going and you're happy, things like Is It Cake
Yeah.
come out of nowhere and you're like, I'll do it. You know, but then it's a #1 show and you're like, I wasn't even going to do that. You
I also
know?
think it's weird how some people have this idea that it's a stigma if you cobble together a lot of things in your career. What that always said to me was, A, people want to do things with you. B, you meet so many different people in those projects. It's
Right.
not like 4 people are putting all the shows on TV, even though it
Right.
might seem like it.
I used to do the Tyra Banks show back
Yeah.
in the day. I wrote
Guest or you guest
host? I was just a guest co-host or
Yeah.
a guest. I was the relationship expert guru.
Okay.
So I was the Steve Harvey before he took my idea
Right.
and ran with it.
Yeah.
But I was that
Your
guy
suits
because
are
I wrote
better.
a relationship book.
Yeah.
And so the talk shows were bringing me in. But during Tyra's reign of daytime, every producer and line producer and segment producer on her show 10 years later was running every show from all the different networks.
And they all knew you.
And they all knew me.
Yeah.
So it was
Yeah.
just like, hey, Finesse, you want to come in and do Bethany? Or you want to come in and do
Right.
Jeff Probst? Or you
Yeah,
want to
of
come?
course.
So everybody who was getting these daytime shows that would bring me in because they knew I was great TV. So all the way up into The Real and I guess now Wendy. It's just like it's all the same producers.
Yeah.
So to look back over a career and be like, I've still been touring for 20 years and I want to do more stand-up specials and I don't know. Then it changes. Oh man, I just want to be a dad.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I just want to raise my girls and get to know their middle name. You know, that type of stuff. You know what I mean? And then it
Their mom gave them to him. I never consulted them.
yeah. Hey, little girl, remember me?
Yeah.
You know. And then it changes to like as soon as I leave Cleveland, I'm off to Ottawa. Mm-hmm. Go shoot a Christmas movie for Oprah Winfrey Network.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm just like, okay, since I'm in Cleveland, I might as well shoot up there, get that check. But I'm the leading man in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, wow, it has taken me 20 years to finally be a leading man.
Better late than never.
And not just a scene-stealing comedic sidekick in all these other films that I've
Funny
done.
friend or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Fox is like, yo, you know, you were on Jason Biggs' show, Outmatched.
Yeah.
We didn't bring it back because of COVID. But we liked you. Do you have any show ideas? And during COVID, I wasn't idle. I was just like, oh, I kind of wrote something. Had the opportunity to pitch it to the president of Fox. They bought it on the spot.
That's awesome.
Awesome.
That's great.
Congrats.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Boy,
if it
that
never
kid-
comes out and you hear about me, you know, keying somebody's car on the Fox lot.
Yeah, but they paid you to hold it, probably.
Yeah, man. So it's
Well, maybe we'll
just
get a
like-
sequel to that Oprah movie. So there you go.
Absolutely. And
Christmas Finesse too.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
finessing Christmas. There you go.
that's Finesse-mas.
Yeah. Boy, that Kim Whitley is a stick of dynamite, boy.
I love it.
She's from
I
here.
love her.
She's from
yes.
this side, yeah.
She's like, Finesse, I'm gonna give you a long list of people, but please let my people in your show this weekend. And what can you say? No.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, yeah, I got them. You know what I mean? And Hilarities has one of the best kitchens.
Oh, it's the best
One
food.
of the best
yeah.
food, the best food in Cleveland to me. And Nick is such a class act that I don't know. I'm like, I'm here. I'm back.
Yeah.
You know? And so the stand-up. Here's the thing about me that's the only thing that frustrates me, Alan. I'm one of the dopest comics in the game. Mm-hmm. And I feel like nobody knows that. And they're like,
Now, why do you feel that way?
because I suck at social media.
I see.
Because that's where the game switched to.
Yeah, yeah.
It
And I'm
did.
shy.
Uh-huh.
Now,
But
that's
you-
a
there's a
crazy
certain-
thing to say.
I know you're on the road a lot, but
But
you
I'm
also
the Adam Sandler of comedy. I don't want to
boast and brag. And
it's not even boast and brag. It's just like when the gig is over, why am I going to turn the camera to me and just be like, I'm walking down the street, or I'm about to get all my 40-something friends together and we're about to do a sketch. That just wasn't my era. Remember when PlayStation came out and everybody was playing Tecmo Bowl and all that stuff? So that was my era. If you come to me in my era of youth, I'm going to be like, oh, snap, I'll kill you in Tecmo Bowl. Oh, and then it switched to Madden. Then everybody's like, oh, I'll kill you in Madden or Call of Duty. Well, for comics, the cell phone came out and social media came out. And if you just started doing comedy, it was about doing sketches. When back in my day, we were like, that's corny. We're not doing that. But the people who did say, I'm going to take that and run with it, that are in my age group, they're doing great. But these younger cats, phenomenal.
Yeah.
You know, it's just, they're not as funny as we are. Some of them are beasts, but
Well, the curing process is different.
It's
You know how
different.
like you cure a piece of metal, you know?
Yes.
The curing process is way different because you'll have YouTubers doing clubs, packing clubs, because the owner goes, look, they put asses in seats. They sell food. I don't know what to tell you, right?
Absolutely.
But they don't have an act, or they'll do a little bit, and then it's 45 minutes of Q&A, whatever.
Yep.
And so
45 minutes.
Bro.
Yeah.
I'm
You know what I
open
mean?
for those guys.
Yeah.
They're the worst.
Right. So, like, everybody in here knows that, like, you know, in the back of your brain, the people who are grinding it out on stage, you're kind of like, well, what the hell is going on? That's just what the thing is now. But those are two different schools. Those are not people who are going to have some long comedy career. At least not, you know, if they want to.
I think you make so much money from social media. Either you really start to care about being one of the best comics, or you don't. You just
Right.
like, I'm just going to keep cranking out videos.
Right.
Because whatever you thought you wanted going into it is not where you shifted into once you started seeing checks.
Right, of course.
You know
and
what
you
I
can't
mean?
even blame them for that.
Can't
They're
even
like,
blame 'em.
why do I want to go to Fargo for 3 nights?
Why do
When
I
I
want a
can make
TV
a
show on
Yeah.
TV when nobody watches TV?
Right.
Right.
You know,
I'm
you
making
can't even.
$1 million on TikTok. I can do
Absolutely.
this in my pajamas.
I'm locked out of my TikTok. I don't even know how to get back into my TikTok. I did one viral video of the Biden inauguration where I was doing a voiceover of just everybody mingling and meeting each
Yeah.
other, and because they had their mouths covered with masks,
Right, yeah.
it was just like it was J-Lo and it was Alex Rodriguez, and they had walked up to the Obamas, and I was being Michelle like, oh, it's J-Lo and it's peace, and she like, hey Michelle, and I'm Barack Obama, J-Lo, you're still with A-Rod. I'm very proud of you, because you
Yeah.
know you be going through it sometimes. You know, you're wrong for that. That thing got over like 10 million views.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Everybody started playing. I posted one video. My niece put it on TikTok because she was trying to explain to me what it was. 50,000 followers. I'm locked out. I ain't been able to get back into it.
Really?
Yes. So if
It's
you
almost
know-
like if you drive, you know, some people drive themselves crazy trying to figure out how to bend social media to their will.
There's no
But it's the
figuring it out.
goofiest, dumbest, funnest crap that always just blows up.
Bro, that's how SNL was. We would spend 8 hours writing a sketch, and you want to turn in 2 a night.
Yeah.
So, or before on a week, 8 hours didn't get picked, but that last one that you wrote in 3 minutes. Let me turn this in so I can have my 2. That's the one they pick.
Didn't overthink
That's
it.
the one that actually goes and gets on air, and everybody's like, "You're brilliant."
See that one?
And so then you try to repeat the formula the next week.
Yeah.
Nope.
Nothing.
Nothing.
Gets on at 5-1, but it still got on. Yeah.
It's when you talk about social media, it's like you have to give over to the fact that none of it makes sense. Where you're
Yeah.
just like, I'm just going to I think it's funny, and I hope other people do too, because it doesn't, none of it makes any sense.
When
or,
you like it, the social media heads always tell me, the influencers, they always say, Finesse, make it, let it fly.
Yeah, just
don't
put it
just
out
put
there.
it out there. Don't critique it. Don't look at it, because if you stare at it, you're not gonna put it out.
Every 15
and I'm
seconds.
that guy.
Yeah.
I'll make a video and I'll say, my collar is crooked,
Yeah.
and I won't
Yeah,
even. And
yeah,
I'll
yeah.
try to recreate that moment, and it won't be as funny as the original crooked collar moment, and I won't put anything out.
Yep.
Because I'll be frustrated.
Have you seen the crooked collar comedian? He's
can't believe
delightful.
it.
Finesse
He is
was wearing
delightful.
a button-down shirt,
He
but
was
one of
so-
the buttons on the collar wasn't buttoned down.
I saw him wearing a suit, and he actually looks like he can dress, but he's known as the crooked collar guy.
Yeah, man.
Finesse Mitchell is in town, and you're the better for it. He's at Hilarities all weekend. You can go to pickwickandfrolic.com, find him on TikTok, and
Find Finesse Mitchell on
find him.
TikTok.
Yeah. And I'm happy to see you again. Thanks for coming in, man.
Thank you.
Best of
for
luck with
inviting me to
everything.
Shawshank. No, man, thank you, brother. Everything is going
Have
great.
fun in Ottawa.
I'm blessed. I know, right?
Yeah.
I bought a coat. I'm ready.
Oh yeah.
I'm ready. But tonight is going down. It starts tonight, Thursday, 2 show, 1 show Friday, 2 shows Saturday, something like that.
I'll send them to the website.
112.
Yeah, 112.
I'm about to shoot my special too, so I'm glad they got the little cameras in there. So
Nice,
y'all come
yeah.
out and pack it out for me. Y'all will be the crowd where you say he made all that up in Cleveland. And
Saw it first.
Yep.
Cleveland is one of the smartest comedy crowds.
They're
Everybody
good,
loves
man.
to shoot
They
in
love
Cleveland.
comedy here.
Yeah. David Arnold came here a couple of times.
Tom
to shoot his
Papa?
comedy. Tom Papa.
Yeah.
But anyway, I don't want to ramble. Thank you.
Absolutely. It's
Thank
good to
you
see
for
you
having
again.
me.
All
Good
right,
to
we'll
see you
take a
too.
break.
The Alan